Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Let's Play the Banner Saga. We're still on the route with Bulwark and his group. Well, I'm not sure where we're going. Some of our heroes are injured and need to rest. I run to hear you yelling. A harsh voice reaches your ears, followed by the laughter of several others. Your abrupt halt alerts Volka, who immediately signals the Raven to fan out and draw their weapons. Over the next rise, a group of 10 haggard fighters and a few varls surround half a dozen peasants and the broken wagon. A woman spots you and shouts, "Help us!" but a punch to the stomach drops her to the snow. The fighters turn, ready to fight. "Just give us what's in the wagon." "Ha!" one man says. "We're going to eat what's in that wagon when we're finished with these folks. We're starving." "Run away now or die." "That's the Raven Banner, brother," another man says. "This ain't the fight we want." The others agree, and the leader resigns to backing away slowly. A few ravens follow them a ways while you deal with the woman and the wagon. "Thank you," the woman who was punched earlier says. "I'm Sefa. I know you don't want us around, but if you're heading toward Bindle, we'll follow your path." "Fine, but your food is ours." "Payment for saving you," you say. The woman nods her understanding, but to your surprise the wagon is nearly empty. "We'll keep our distance," Sefa says, "but we'll be behind you." You grunt and walk off. A couple of Raven scouts take off to check out the cluster of tents ahead. "Refugees from Omsdaler," one of them says upon returning. "They've got a sizable camp and seem disciplined. They know we're here," the scout adds. "No sense in trying to avoid them." You take the lead and approach the refugees. A hooded man with a red spear greets you. "My name's Bach, and this is Luffen. You're Bulwark of the Ravens, and this is your wife?" You are confused as much by his question as by the fact that no one is with this man. "Who's Luffen? Varl don't have wives. What do you want back?" "Direct, then I'll be direct too. I'm leading this large group of trained fighters and tradesmen from Ormsdal. We're looking for a new home. We done what it takes to survive out here, but they're starting to lose faith in me." "You want us to reinforce your control?" "No. I want you to take over, lead us someplace we can live. Luffen and I weren't meant for keeping others alive." "What do I get in return?" "For one, we won't kill you." Bach smiles, but there is no humor in his eyes. "We'll share the food we've collected and fight alongside you, should there be a need." He stops and confers with his spear. "Spoiling you, Luffen is. We'll even spread the word of how great the Ravens are. We'll take you as far as Bindle." Bach kisses the metal of his spear and smiles. "You have my thanks." "Oh, Luffen thanks you as well." The unyielding snowfall is providing too much for the humans, who now vainly attempt to follow your large footprints. In truth, The sky and your surroundings lack enough contrast to know where you are going, and it's cold. The trees over there, Folka manages to say, motioning with her spear. The foliage blocks some of the wind, but does nothing for visibility. With no other options, you burrow into the snow, cloaked in your bare fur.
Darkness. Lightning. Someone pulling in the energy. Painful.
Perk, wake up, you damn bear! You're being robbed! You roar and shake off the foot of snow covering you. The unclear dream still vivid in your mind. Back uses his spear Luffen to point east. Those clansmen you saved, they killed your guards and they're taking everything. Folka is by your side in seconds, followed by the spearmen. They sprint along the snowy path of the stolen supplies straight into an ambush by the bandits originally harassing the clansmen. Sefa turns and smirks. Dude, this snow is really annoying. So we could call the weak Bear Rage. Counters attacks, plus lowers armor and causes fear in adjacent enemies. Call the weak Killing Blow grants an extra turn. Can't kill him. Pigsticker, what's that? Pigsticker, 20% to crit, adjacent allies add percentage. Rank 1. 10% critical chance. Alright, let's see what the Pigsticker can do. 1 damage, okay, that's not much. So move this guy's armor. Alright, what can we do with bulwark? Killing blow grants an extra turn. That's not gonna work. Bear rage. Succeed. Does it matter if I put it over here or not? I don't know. Let's just kill this. Who's next? This guy. Damn it. Oh man, a lot of injured people. Sefa's wounds are great, and she whimpers in the snow. You nod to Falca, who dispatches the bandit archer with haste. This is what helping folks get you, you roar. Grab all these supplies and bring them back to the camp. You tell the ravers after hoisting a barrel on each other's shoulder. Hmm, I guess we're resting. Who the hell was Percy, man, and Sigbjorn? The hell? Alright. A scout points into the distance with a smile on his face. Walking that direction, you begin to hear the strangest bickering between two Varl. Now have you done it, Yut, says one Varl with a large shield and spear. Kept on until others heard and came nosing about. Kept on until others heard and came nosing about. The other Varl glances your way, nods politely, and walks towards you with while shouldering his axe. Don't mind my brother, Naka. He's a warrior. Naka steps closer and shoves the other Varl with his shield. Yut, Varl don't have brothers, and it's warriors. What the hell? Volker looks at you with amusement and confusion. None of the other ravens seem to know how to react. Your next step better be in the other direction. Not the nicest way to say hello, Yut says, extending his hand in greeting. Not hello, you daft fools, Naka says, slapping Yut's hands and pulling on his arm. The crazy-looking one wants us gone. Yut looks genuinely confused. I never said goodbye before hello, Naka. Most of the ravens are now suppressing chuckles at the absurdity. I'm not sure what you're after, but we're not sharing food. Yud shakes his head. We're not after food, are we, Naka? Naka says, no, well, yes and no. Yud agrees, yes and no, that's right, we'd fight with you. Naka interrupts. For you, he means. Yud looks annoyed. Naka would fight for food, but we'd fight with this lot. You can join if you'll shut up. Thank you, Naka says. But Yuta slaps a hand over his brother's mouth. Several mercenaries snort, trying to hold back laughing. The two Vals smile like fools and fall in line. Holy crap, what is that all about?
The miners of Bindle are a rough crowd. Not a bad place to recruit new blades.
The old wanderer finds his way up to next to you. Can't see a damn thing in this mess. Guess old Irinx hasn't forgiven you after all. Shouldn't you have died already? I don't remember there being much to see here. Keep bringing up earrings and you'll cough up more than phlegm. The old man chuckles and coughs. Of all the gods, I'm not sure why you picked that one to fancy. You stare at him, and he shrugs. One of these days you might learn to laugh a bit at yourself a bit. All those people are looking for food and a home. Now I'm looking for ale. Is that so much to ask for? The snowstorm is worse than ever as you arrive at the walls of the mining town of Bindle. The gates are closed and you beat a fist against them. Open the fan gates, you shout. From the wall, two menders look down on you to then recede. Soon the gates open enough for half a dozen well-trained guards to greet you. The one-eyed captain points and says to you, "Just you." Volker steps to your side. "Not alone," she says. "She comes with me." The captain takes a moment to assess the situation and nods, before following him through the gates. You bark commands at other ravens to stay close and vigilant. Inside the small gatehouse are the two menders from the wall, a woman with a fancy spear and a cub of a man holding a staff. Valka Zephyr, it is the Raven Banner. So it seems, but why here? Why now? Just passing through on our way to the Blue River, but this blasted storm caught us. Planned to come back this way afterwards for more work, but now we need some food and a place to hole up. We brought some people with us, they need a new home. I'm sure it felt like the right thing to do, but we're already beyond our capacity here. Are you Bulwark? Bulwark Bloodaxe? Hold your tongue, Nichols. What do you know about me, boy? I've heard all your tales. I can't believe your cold bear cloak is real. Is it true your axe handles are made from your own horns? The old mender places a hand on the young man's shoulder. Whoa, I never knew I was traveling with such a legend. You ignore her. Are you in charge here? Where's the governor? The governor left for Arbrang a while back with most of the fighters to settle a dispute. The Mender Council sent me to bring the people of Bindle west, as we've heard too many rumors of Dredge. More than rumors. We were in Borsgard, saw Bellower. The immortal Sunder. How did you escape? Immortal was a joke. He's dead. Nichols' eyes go wide in awe, but Zephyr looks pensive. What about the great rift that opened between Borsgard and Ormsdale? We managed. Zephyr looks like she wants to press you for more information. Enough. Open the gates for my ravens. Mercenaries will only panic the people. With everyone from Ormsdale, it's all I can do to keep from stampeding like wild yaks. Fine, we'll camp against the leeward walls. Thank you. You'll have all the assistance with your shelter as a shelter Valka and her assistant can give you. Funny you won't let us in when we're on a job for one of your own. You snarl at Valka for saying too much. She shrugs in response. I'm not aware of another Valka being out in this direction. Who has tasked you? Juno. Zephyr steps back at the name and studies your face for a moment. Nichols, you and the guards see what you can do outside the walls with the people. I'll see to it and make sure the ravens are comfortable. The young mender nods respectfully to Zephyr and grins at you and Volka before leading the guards through the gate. I'm inviting only the two of you to stay within our walls and enjoy a bit more warmth and comfort. And separate us from my ravens? No. Good, but try anything in my ravens to level this place. No, we're not gonna separate ourselves from the ravens. Suit yourself, but your mistrust is unnecessary. Maybe, but I shouldn't have to tell you about my job from a superior just to get an invitation. My superior? No, you misunderstand. You have no job. The Valka known as Juna is dead. Chapter 10. To speak in all tongues. I guess we're switching to the other group again. Yeah. The once energetic mender approaches, looking both worn and troubled. I'm not sure I thanked you for the time to recover. I never woven a spell that strong before. Are you sure you're ready to move on? You look. I know. I caught my reflection earlier. It's a more mature look. The mender grins, and the hint of his former youth shines through. Not everyone would have stopped for so long, especially with the ground rumbling like it has. We're all people in need of help here, so... You've grown up to really care about everyone here, Alat. It's a gift, and I hope you never lose it. He weaves a bit more on the armor. Have you given any more thought to my offer? I think some mending could really benefit you. You consider his offer? Sure, it might really help someday. I think so too, and you already know more than you think. I doubt it will take me long to teach you the basics, but you'll have to practice as we go. I'm placing some powders on your bow. Trace them with your thumb at all times. Practice. Memorize them. Understanding will occur later. A scout runs up to you. There's a woman tied to a tree up ahead. Got 4 guards watching her. The strange news draws a good deal of attention from the caravan. The bound woman is ranting and spitting at the 4 guards when you arrive and ask, "What's going on here?" "This here is a witch," one guard says. "Plaguing our clan, making everyone really sick. But we caught her and brought her way out here." The others nod. "She's to be tied here for 5 days without food or water, then cut loose. Been 3 days so far. But she'll die on her own after that long with nothing to eat and drink, you say. That's not on us," the guard responds. "But if you want to set her free, we'd be bigger fools than you to get in your way. How do you know she's a witch?" Everyone looks at the woman who is grinning a toothless grin. She scrunches at the tree bark and calls out the dead gods one by one. If that's not enough, the guard says, she was seen squeezing mistletoe berries into water troughs. Think I heard that makes you sick? The other guards bob their heads in agreement. Ursa in her thoughts. Ursa smiles and saunters towards the tired woman. She says a few quiet words to the prisoner and looks over before returning. My suggestion, she says, burn her and the tree to the ground. I don't like it, but this is not our concern. We don't like it either, the guard says, but thanks for leaving us to it. As the caravan rolls by, the woman screams curses and hexes, leaving most feeling sorry for her or scared. I don't know what that was all about. She was probably something. Easy boy, a clansman shouts as the Yox cart nearly topples to the one side. The templed path of the Eastway Road has steadily turned into a cracked shamble. Looking ahead, it only gets worse. Various chasms gape like open mouths. You glance back to Ivan, who looks at you and shakes his head. The entire caravan comes to a halt. We'll be eating our belts before finding a way across this broken road, especially with this many. And there's no telling how far we'd have to backtrack to head north. Then we'll head south across the Ormser riverbed. We can head towards Grunder on the west. Trygve peers around Haken's elbow before coming fully into view. Heading south is questionable. Those people? Why do you say that? Maybe I spent a lifetime there. Plenty of things to eat under logs. But there's also people in the bogs. This guy is great. His eyes go wide. The Skalds should hear my rhyme. But what's wrong with heading south? Different ways of living, old ways, stick to the mud, and the cracksmen are less bothersome. I think he's talking about the boggers, the rough backward people of Swardsbog. Trygve frowns at Ivor. Words like that can find you swollen, filled with poison. He puffs out his cheeks and stares at Ivor. This is why Varl tend to keep to themselves. Each human is crazy in their own way. Trygve hunches over with laughter until he suddenly stops, sniffs the air and marches away. Strange, but it's fair warning. We're crossing over into lands most of us have never seen. Just because we left those dredge behind doesn't mean we won't have more wars ahead of us. If we had more supplies, I'd say we should stop for a few days and train some of these clansmen to fight. You consider your options. Alright, let's camp and we'll consider training clansmen later. The prince is acting even more standoffish than usual. You and Ivor have caught him staring ahead and twisting the ring on his finger over and over. Ursa quietly stands nearby. Glad to be heading home? Ludin turns to the two of you and offers a polite smile. Even after that chasm, would it surprise you if I said no? I thought you hated being so far from Arbrang. Is there anything you actually like? It doesn't matter, that's where we're going. I thought you hated being so far from Arbrang. Life on the trail hasn't won me over. but it's not all bad. It's even possible that I've heard a few things about leading people while out here. You, Ivor, and Urza are stunned to hear the prince talk this way. I've grown up in comfort and trained with scholars and fighters. I've never known anything else. Saying stuff like that won't make you any friends in this caravan. But that's just it. Among these clansmen, I've seen the differences. I think I understand them a bit more. That's great, Prince Ludin. Oh yeah, what exactly do you understand? What do you plan to do with this understanding? If we make it to Arbrang without being slaughtered by Dredge, when we make it, I'll talk to the king about my ideas for sharing information. Advisors learning from craftsmen learning from advisors. You never seen the prince this animated, but then his face falls. I just don't think the king will appreciate my knowledge. Ursa will agree my father is not what you can call open-minded. The king's a hard man, has to be, but his son is his weakness. Can you tell me about King Meinhof? I suppose, but there is not much to him. He's king. He draws a hard line on nearly every topic. Talking to him is much like being told what to do. In fact, it's exactly that. I used to think the same about my father sometimes. This isn't about being his son, you'll see. Kings usually have to make tough decisions and stick with them. Maybe someday you'll see why. I know. I just don't think he'll care for my ideas on treating with peasant commoners. What would you like to be called? We're all people, Prince. Even you. You have a charming way of humbling me. Ursa rolls her eyes. Just keep an open mind about your father the way you like him to have towards your ideas. That's something I never considered before. I'll think on it. As Prince Ludin and Ursa walk away, you feel Ivor watching you. What? When did you become so full of sage advice? Since I started listening to you. Gods, don't start making that mistake. The two of you share a smile before moving on. They are still injured. Alright, we'll look at this another time because we have only 22 anyway. Alright, let's stop here. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.